could you introduce yourself and talk about what you do?
Well, I'm Douglas Castro. I own and run Darkglass Electronics. We're based here in Helsinki, Finland, and we make bass pedals.
Yeah, and you just moved into these new workshops, right?
Yeah, we moved in September. We outgrew the previous shop pretty fast. I was there for a couple of years, but I was mainly designing. But when we switched back to manufacturing in-house here in Finland, the shop just got too small very fast. So we moved to this bigger place now, which it's getting tight again. But yeah, now I have more room, so I can have actually a couple of people helping me with the building of the pedals and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. How did you get started with this? I mean, I'm a Darkglass pedal user myself, so I was really curious about how you got started. I mean, how do you get into actually building pedals in the first place?
Yeah, well, it's pretty basic. I loved music growing up. I've been a bass player for 15 years almost now. And I always was looking for new sounds and everything. I had two problems growing, like when I was in college. One was that I was too broke to actually buy many pedals, but the other one was that the actual sound I wanted didn't seem to be anywhere. When you combine those two, it makes for a good combo of need and the need to like develop the thing from scratch. So me being too broke to buy pedals led me to actually build my own pedals. My first pedal was a compressor because I needed a compressor, but I couldn't afford one. Yeah. And once I got started with building and just doing what everyone else builds, I got bored of that pretty fast, and then I started just designing my own circuits, and that's how the thing got started. I just wanted to design the distortion of my dreams, basically. Yeah. I couldn't find it, so I went with it and designed it myself. It took me like almost 2 years, but yeah,
so
here we are.
The first one was the B3K, right?
Yeah, the B3K was the first. Well, actually, the harmonic booster was the first one.
Oh yeah, the harmonic booster.
Yeah, that's discontinued now.
That's got a sort of semi-legendary status on talk bass, because people are like, oh yeah, I've got a hold of the harmonic booster, I'll never get rid of it.
Yeah, we did very few. We did, I don't know, around 50, maybe less.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, the harmonic booster was like the clean stages of the B3K.
Yeah.
So basically, the harmonic booster was the thing that shaped the signal to later be saturated.
Yeah.
And once you saturate the harmonic booster signal and then you process it in different ways, filter a little bit, you end up with a B3K. So those two were the first products. Yeah. I don't like to say products though, I like to say creations, maybe, because I don't think of them as products, like consumer products. I think of them as things we build and other people get to use. But yeah, the B3K, and then the B7K was just a logical transition from that. The B7K was, I just figured out that if I added an EQ to the B3K, it would just make the whole thing so much more versatile. Yeah. Actually, in my rehearsals with my first band, I would run the B3K, one of the first ones, the one I showed you, like the made in Chile, with a Boss graphic EQ pedal afterwards, and then go straight to the PA in rehearsals, because I was too lazy to carry my amp to the rehearsal room. And it sounded so good, so that I said, okay, we could make this into a pedal, and that's how the B7K got started. Yeah, that's basically. And then the products like the Vintage, for example, the Vintage was me trying to modify the B3K to have a different character, like the Vintage has. So basically, every single creation we've put out has been driven by curiosity, almost. Yeah.
So. I know people are always asking me, asking you, what I meant to say, what new stuff is coming. And I know, when you create new creations, you can't promise, because you don't always know what's going to come and things like that. But you got something in the works at the moment that you could perhaps talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot in the works. I might be spreading myself too thin trying to design so many things at the same time, but yeah, the thing that's coming out for sure very soon is the onboard preamp, which we tested. It's almost done. We're just working on the packaging right now, prototyping some different styles of packaging, and the circuit boards are on testing at the moment. So hopefully December.
I got to try an off-board version of it.
Yeah,
I really like it. It's takes a slightly different attitude to preamps and what controls you have on it. Could you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah. The cool thing is that it doesn't have a treble control. It has 3 controls.
Yeah.
It's a 3-band EQ, but it doesn't have a treble. It has a bass control and 2 mid controls. Instead of having a treble, it has a high mid control. That it's very similar to the one that B7K has, the high mids on the B7K, which accomplishes the same that a treble control does, which is add more definition and more crisp to your signal. But since it's a lot lower than your standard treble control, I feel that it adds some more natural harmonics to the bass signal. It's more relevant to a bass signal. It also adds less noise and like less harsh notes. The idea actually wasn't mine though. It was Sheldon Dingwall's. The preamp was designed for his NG2 Nolly Getgood signature bass. The original plan was to do a standard bass mid treble preamp for it, and we're having breakfast at NAMM this year in Dennis, I think. We're having some pancakes for breakfast before 2nd or 3rd day in NAMM, very early in the morning. He said, you know what, I think a bass mid treble is a bit boring, you know, everyone's doing that. Let's go with something crazy and let's do a bass mid mid. I was like, that's perfect, sounds great. So yeah, I just designed it, then we sent a prototype to Nolly for him to comment on the frequencies, and that was it. And then we just sent it for production, and the NG2 is currently being made with the preamp. So the preamp is being made actually. It's just not released for the public yet because of the packaging and this like more like kind of like logistic details. But yeah, it's already basically out there in the Dingwall bases.
That's excellent. I mean, I got a project lying in the cellar myself that needs a whole new electronic setup. So I'm going to have one of those.
Beautiful.
Okay, so that's really nice. Thank you for letting us come here and see your shop. There'll be a little bit of a vlog and things like that.
Oh, thank you for coming. It was a true pleasure having you.
And wish you luck with all the rest. And we really look forward to see some of your new creations.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, well, you will.
Thanks.
Thank you.